right, so we're back to another question on the EOC released test section on the poem called Improvement. If you're watching this video and you haven't recently reviewed the poem, please go ahead and hit pause and do that either from the screen or from your paper copy. This time we are going to talk about question number 12. First of all, let me start out before we even get to question 12 by reminding you, you always want to try to eliminate two answer choices. Always try to eliminate two answer choices that just don't seem right before you choose from the two you have left. So we're going to look at question 12. Which line from the poem refines the theme of the poem? If you don't know what the word refines means, or if you don't just notice its importance in this question, you're probably going to miss this one. This is tough. Which line from the poem refines the theme? Well, let's start by, sometimes you can better understand a question by looking at the answer choices. So, don't dwell on the question. If you've read it a couple of times and you still aren't quite sure what the question is asking, start looking at the answer choices and see what you can get from those. All right, so A, the joy of life is living it, or so it seems to be, to me. All right, so again, these are all lines taken straight out of the poem. If we go back up here, we'll see that that is the very first line. The joy of life is living it, or so it seems to me. All right, so does that line convey anything about theme? I know from the question it's got something to do with theme, even if I'm not sure what this refines word means I'm supposed to be looking for. The joy of life is living it, or so it seems to me. I feel like that is related to the theme. So let's move on to the other questions. B, the happiest mortal on earth is he who ends his day. All right, I'm going to eliminate that right away, because taking this line by itself has nothing to do with the theme. He who ends his day. That's not even a complete idea from the poem. The poem actually says the happiest mortal on earth is he who ends his day. I'm looking for, here it is. The happiest mortal on the earth is he who ends his day by leaving better than he found. All right, so if you watched the previous video, we talked a little bit about the fact that this poem is about how what's important in living life is making life better, is working toward making life better by creating a better world, maybe. And that's what this idea here is. The happiest mortal on earth is he who ends his day by leaving better than he found to bloom. That means sort of the happiest person is the one who leaves the world better than he found it. So I'm going to eliminate answer choice B, and here's why. I'm eliminating answer choice B because it doesn't even express a complete idea from the poem. Taken out of context, it really has nothing to do with the theme. So, B is eliminated. C, who really knows the happiness and peace of being free. Is the poem really about peace and freedom? The poem mentions peace and freedom. All of these are actual lines from the poem. But based on what we've already said about theme, the fact that the author's message is what makes life worth living is making the world a better place, no, I've got to eliminate C. It's not about peace and freedom. All right, so we sort of liked A. B and C are eliminated. Now we're at D. Who seeks for joy through hedges thick of care and pain must grope. I need to go back to the poem and see where that's used. Through pain. I'm going to look for it by looking for grope, and there it is. All right, I need to see this whole idea, though. I need to see this whole idea. The miseries of earth are here, and with them all must cope. Who seeks for joy through hedges thick of care and pain must grope. This is what this line is saying. This person who is coping with miseries but seeking joy, if you seek joy, you have to go through care and pain. That's what these two lines are saying. So, let's go back. I am considering both A and D at this point. So I've eliminated B and C because they don't have anything to do with the main theme of the poem, the theme of the poem. So I've eliminated B and C. And now I think I have to think about this word refines. If the question said, which line from the poem indicates the theme, I think I would have gone with A. But now that I see answer choice D, who seeks for joy through hedges thick of care and pain must grope. All right, so the theme of the poem isn't just happy life, which is what this line talks about. The theme of the poem is that if you want to have a happy life, you have to face the hardships. So now I'm thinking what the word refines here means is which line from the poem helps to develop the full theme. Refines means to add to refine something is to add to it. So now I think the correct answer choice, in fact I know the correct answer choice here is D. A lot of people chose A, and I totally get why. I'm thrilled that most of you eliminated B and C. That means you were doing the process correctly. And answer choice A is what's called a distractor. At least one answer choice in every multiple choice question will be a distractor. That means, oh, it looks right. But in this case, the word refines was telling us that we needed to look for a line that adds to the theme. And that is answer choice D, because it focuses not just on the happiness issue, but also on the other half of the poem, which talks about the fact that if we want happiness, we have to face the pain as well. All right, so I hope you got something out of this video about EOC questions. And going forward, as we continue to practice, I want you to make sure that you do these things. Whatever you're reading, notice the title. If it happens to be a poem, read it the way you would read anything else. You're going to come across more figurative language, and sometimes lines will be written in a weird order. But it's still just words. So if you're reading a poem, read it the way you would read anything else. And then when you start dealing with the multiple choice questions, don't give up just based on the question. Go look at the answer choices. Sometimes you can get more information on what the question means from the answer choices. And finally, always try to eliminate 2 before you pick from the 2 answers you have left. Go get them, guys. Thanks for paying attention.